Hello and welcome to Aerospace Rocketry's YouTube channel, where we specialize in the hobby of high-powered rocketry, drones, and other fun stuff. Like and subscribe, I really appreciate it. It helps out the channel. Hope you like our next video. All right, so today we're going to talk about some cameras that I use on my rockets. A lot of people have asked me, what's the best camera to use? It really depends on a lot of things. What you're looking for. Are you going to do slow motion and post video? Things like that. And how big is the rocket? Now, these cameras I'm showing you here are made for bigger rockets because they're not that they're heavy, but they're bulky. So they're not going to go on an Estes rocket, right? We're going to have to use little keychain cameras. The keychain cameras work pretty good for those type of rockets. But when you get into the bigger stuff, you really want the best camera you can find, right? So, and I'm not here to trash anything, but I was using the Runcam 4K. Nice camera, don't get me wrong, but I'm having a lot of battery issues, okay? And I'm not sure why. Usually it's when I charge it, when it's in the camera, the battery tends to expand and then it won't charge, it won't hold the charge. And I've had at least 2 of them go out already. I went to Runcam to see if they give me some support, and they give me this 90-day warranty. It's not good anymore, and that's fine. So I decided I'm not going to use these guys anymore. Now, this was nice because there was some Wi-Fi connections. You can do all your camera settings through Wi-Fi, easy on and off. Nothing that hard. But I also found that the batteries didn't last when it did work. I would get an initial flight going up, and by the time the chute opened, between the time it sits on the pad and the launch and the recovery, I never got a good recovery looking down. So, this thing, like I said, great picture, 4K. It has 1080p, 120 frames per second, great for slow motion. But again, the battery issues here have gotten me away from this camera. So, what do we got? Here's what we have. We've got a Mobius 4K, MM4K they call it. This is really nice camera. Now, Mobius calls it the MM4K. But it's available on Amazon. And Amazon has it as, I thought I printed the Amazon sheet. I think I did. Oh, here it is. So this is David Dammy's gift newest Maxi 4K action cam. All right. Now, there is a difference between the Maxi and the 4K. And I found that out because, and I'm going to show you some pictures of this, but this is from Additive Rocketry, and it's a shroud. This camera does not quite fit inside the shroud. This is for the Mobius Maxi, but the 4K, I had to do some modifications. And here's a picture of it here of the modification I did to make this work. I had to cut out some of this area here just to get it to fit. Anyway, so here's a box that comes in, nice magnetic little case. And you have your quick startup guide. It has everything you need in here. It's got your power cord. It has a little holder with a standard tripod mount if you wanted to use that. So that's kind of nice. And this is the camera itself. Now, if you notice, it's a little lower profile than this one. So what's nice is when you're on a rocket, the shroud doesn't stand up as high. This is a lot lower than most. So you get a little bit more aerodynamic here. There's a whole ton of settings that you can do with this camera. And it's a very simple program that you can do on your laptop, Windows, whatever. Comes with a nice camera cover. This is 150-degree field of view. Now, I thought that was a little bit wide, but after seeing my footage, which I will show you in this video, it's really not that bad. And to turn this on, you just hold this down. And I have this programmed already that as soon as I turn it on, it's recording. All right, so right now we are recording. And that is so great when you're in the field. When you're setting up your rocket, right before you go vertical on it, there's more than enough time. And the batteries on these, incredible. Well over an hour and a half. I just used this for my recent Falcon 9 launch. And again, I'm going to show you some video there. But it sat on the pad for a while. It got the full flight, got recovery. It lasted right up until I started putting the rocket together. And then some. Actually, this is the same battery that I use for flight, and it's still working. Turn it off, you just hold it down. You get 6 beeps, and off it goes. You can change the photo mode. You can change all different modes that you want. Now, some of the modes on here, and this is, that I'm going to show you on the computer here. But you got your basic settings. Your date time sync if you want that. The format, it has, 60 hertz, NTSC or PAL. Beeper volume, I always go high because I'm getting older so I can hear better. And they got all kinds of power off standbys, things like that. When you go to the video 1 settings, this is the majority of what you're going to want anyway. I want the date and time stamp, already recording indicators on. You don't want to rotate the image. Audio recording volume, you want 100%. That's the other thing. The volume on the RunCam 4K is not that great. It's very, very low, actually. The volume on here is fantastic. You hear that rocket kick in, and man, it makes a lot of noise. So getting back to this, you can see you could do field of views. You can do wide, medium, and narrow. Now, these change based on what your video resolution is. Now, I chose 1080p because I wanted 120 frames per second. But you can actually change your field of view on this camera. And I used 120 frames per second. That's because I do a lot of slow-mo in post video editing. High quality video. Video clip length is max. Now, you can break that down if you want to do 10 minutes. So it'll take 10-minute increments. And you don't see a transition. It's just 10 minutes and boom, 10 minutes. So when you do post editing, you got smaller clips that you can pick from. Because we know they could sit on the launch pad for 20 minutes before it goes off. Your rocket launches. And you want to just get that clip. It's easier to do a 10-minute. Now, I did a max, and I was able just to edit it down as quickly as possible. So, and then there's additional features for Video 1 Plus. A lot of stuff you're not going to use here. Image stabilization, that's very difficult on a rocket anyway. So, but that's some of the settings on this camera. I'm going to put all the links in the bottom of the video. So you have everything. But again, this Mobius 4K, Max 4K they call it, I think is one of the best ones for larger size rockets. It's got a lower profile. The battery lasts forever. I got a 128 gig card in here that didn't even touch for one flight. Plenty of room. You definitely want to use at least a U3 speed. So those SanDisk Ultra, and you'll see a rating for U rating. You want to use a U3. That's the fastest one you can find right now, and it works great. No stuttering. It's smooth, and again, beautiful looking camera, and it mounts great on a rocket. There isn't a specific shroud for this one yet. This is the closest thing you can find. This is for the Mobius Maxi only. So I had to make some adjustments like I showed you earlier in the video. But it works if you can just, adjust this a little bit. Until somebody makes one for here, then I'll just be getting those. So, but that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And this is my recommendation. It is the best out there as far as I'm concerned. And stay tuned. I'll show you the launch video. Thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe. We are shooting for 1,000 subscribers. We got a long way to go, but I really appreciate anybody that can do that for me. Enjoy the video footage on board the Falcon 9.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
SpaceX Dragon, we're go for launch. Let's light this candle.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Stage 1 tanks pressing for flight.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.